I have a question.
Yep.
How come, well, I've come across this, but if you ask people, like I ask people, the name of God, 95% of the people that tell me the name of God is Jesus. I go, that's his son, but who did he pray to? What was his name? Nobody knew.
I have a question for you then. Do you believe that Jesus is God?
I believe he's God, yep.
Okay. I think it's an interesting thing when we think about...
But who did he spend all night praying to? Who did he seem to way to spend time with?
I'm getting there. I'm going to answer that. We know that he was talking to his father.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and folks who want to reject the orthodox and biblical teaching of the Trinity would say, well, listen, Jesus couldn't be very God because who was he talking to? He was talking to God, so he couldn't be God if he was talking to God. But I think we get a little glimpse of how this goes on. We'll start with Genesis 1. In Genesis 1, there's no people around yet. It's God. And God is the only creator. You agree with me there?
Yes.
The angels didn't create anything.
No.
Okay. So God is having a conversation in Genesis chapter 1.
Yeah.
In Genesis chapter 1, in verse 26, the Bible said, and God said, let us make man in our image. Now, who's the us? And who's the our?
The Son.
God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. So this is a conversation happening then within the Trinity.
Yeah.
God is talking among his own plurality. Let us make man in our image. So the triune God said, we want to make man in our image. So what did he do? He made man body, soul, spirit. Oh, we have three parts like God has three parts. Let us make man in our own image. Now, we have that repeated in a couple of things. Chapter 11 is another case where this happens. Verse 5, this is the Tower of Babel. The folks were building a tower to say, we're going to go right up to heaven. And so, verse 5, the Lord came down. I'm sorry. The Lord said, behold, the people is one. This is verse 6. And they have all one language, and this they began to do. Now nothing will be restrained from them, which they imagine to do. Go to, this is God talking, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So this, again, is the Trinity having a conversation with themselves. So, when now God the Son is apart, physically apart from the rest of the triune God, he is having a conversation with the Trinity. In John chapter 17, we have this great high priestly prayer. He is addressing God the Father. Is that okay? Can he do that and still be God? Yes, because we've had conversations in the Trinity way before Jesus ever came to earth. So that's not a problem, and it doesn't teach that Jesus isn't God.
Yeah, but I understand that, and I believe that. But then he told the Israelis, my name is Yahweh.
Okay, you're talking about in Exodus?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question. So, in other words, God the Father said, "My name," you're in Exodus chapter 3, and Moses said, "Well, what's your name? Who should I tell him that you are?" God's talking to Moses through a burning bush. Tell him, "Let my people go." Who should I say you are? And let's see. Verse 14, well, I'll pick it up with verse 13. Moses said unto God, "Behold, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, they shall say to me, what is his name? And what shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me to you." And I am is Jehovah. That means I am that I am. Or Yahweh, Jehovah. So, God revealed himself and said, I am. That's my name. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Jesus is also Jehovah. Remember that Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jesus is having an argument with the Pharisees, and of course,
Yeah, he says, before Abraham, I am.
yeah, before Abraham was. That's absolutely right. In John chapter 8, before Abraham was, I am, which Jesus was claiming to be Jehovah God. How do we know that he was claiming to be Jehovah God? Because immediately, as soon as he said that, the Pharisees took up stones to try to stone him, because that's exactly what he was claiming. I am the same God as Jehovah God that talked to Moses out of the burning bush. That's absolutely right.
And twice in the New Testament, his father spoke.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What?
Twice in the New Testament, the father spoke while he was there.
Yes. This is my beloved son.
He got baptized, and the second time when he was on the mountain and he transformed.
Right. Absolutely. This is my beloved son, hear ye him.